Every year, monsoon rains swell Pakistan's river systems until they breach their banks, submerging millions of acres of land and swallowing entire villages whole. For the communities displaced by these rising waters, a strange and deadly paradox takes hold. They are surrounded by millions of gallons of water, yet drinking a single drop of it carries a lethal risk. Flood currents actively poison existing clean wells. As the water moves across the landscape, it sweeps up everything in its path: raw sewage, agricultural runoff, industrial waste, and decomposing organic matter. This toxic mix creates a breeding ground for pathogenic microorganisms. Outbreaks of cholera, E. coli, and typhoid rapidly spread through the population. In the chaotic aftermath, these waterborne diseases typically kill and disable more people than the rising waters themselves. A major flood is actually two distinct disasters striking back to back. First comes the physical destruction of homes and land, followed immediately by the biological weaponization of the community's only available drinking supply. The force of the floodwaters crushes pump stations, short-circuits electrical grids needed for filtration plants, and ruptures main pipelines. Municipal water sources that were perfectly safe the day before are damaged beyond immediate repair. Families forced into temporary relief camps are stripped of their ability to treat water themselves. They lose access to boiling fuel, household filters, and clean storage containers, leaving them entirely dependent on external help. When organizations observe this specific crisis, most offer words of support. Gill Corporation, operating under the direction of Mr. Azhar Amin Gill, recognized that standing by while populations fall ill is unacceptable. They committed to a mandate of immediate, on-the-ground intervention. Overcoming a total collapse of a region's water infrastructure requires highly engineered, precise systems designed for extreme conditions. It requires a rapid response blueprint. In the first 72 hours of a flood emergency, the immediate objective is to bypass the ruined municipal systems completely. Relief teams must establish an independent, secure clean water production line directly at the displacement camps. Gill Corporation deploys rapid deployment mobile water filtration units. Mounted on all-terrain platforms with their own diesel power generation, these units drive directly through damaged infrastructure zones to produce thousands of liters of clean drinking water entirely off the grid. In specific areas, the water contains a secondary, hidden threat. Agricultural runoff and industrial heavy metals dissolve into the floodwaters. As this cross-section shows, chemical contaminants slip straight through standard filtration barriers. To counter this, Gill Corporation activates reverse osmosis. High pressure forces water through a molecular membrane, stripping out chemicals, leaving only pure water. By pairing the physical reach of all-terrain mobile units with the microscopic precision of reverse osmosis, engineering teams guarantee an immediate supply of safe water, neutralizing the toxicity of the floodwater entirely. Even as the floodwaters finally drop, the danger remains. Local wells, tube wells, and community storage tanks are left packed with silt, debris, and dangerous levels of biological pathogens. Gill Corporation initiates a systematic post-flood water source rehabilitation program. Technical teams begin by physically extracting the heavy layers of sediment and organic matter that have settled inside the local infrastructure. Once the physical debris is cleared, they use a process called shock chlorination. Technicians calculate and introduce highly concentrated, precise doses of chlorine into the tanks to eradicate the explosive bacterial growth, then flush the system with fresh water until it tests clean. Systematically decontaminating and repairing these individual water sources ensures that when displaced families return home, they aren't relying on a biological hazard in their own backyards. The moment families begin returning to their communities is highly vulnerable. Under severe emotional stress, many people will immediately draw water from their familiar local pumps, unaware that unseen contamination levels remain fatal. To close this gap, Gill Corporation technicians enter recovery zones ahead of the main population wave. They scientifically test every single well, tank, and pump for physical, chemical, and microbiological safety. They translate these scientific results into a simple, visual language. Every tested source receives a prominent marker. Green means safe to drink, yellow means safe only if boiled, and red indicates the water is highly toxic and must not be consumed under any circumstances. Laboratory verification only saves lives if the community can understand it at a glance. This color-coded tagging system gives returning populations immediate, actionable data to protect themselves. Yet, even with safe water flowing from mobile units and decontaminated wells, one critical vulnerability remains. Perfectly purified water can be instantly recontaminated in the final moments before consumption by open containers, unhygienic collection vessels, or unwashed hands. Gill Corporation addresses this last mile of the crisis by distributing community water safety kits. Families receive secure, sealed containers with tight-fitting lids and emergency water purification tablets for household-level backup treatment. Alongside the physical kits, community educators launch a floodwater safety awareness campaign. Through face-to-face sessions in relief camps and loudspeaker broadcasts across affected areas, they demonstrate basic, critical behaviors like proper hand-washing and safe storage techniques. The most advanced reverse osmosis membranes and mobile filtration trucks will eventually fail in their mission if the water is stored in an open bucket. Technical solutions only succeed when they are paired directly with behavioral defense at the household level. The response timeline moves systematically. It starts with immediate off-grid mobile rescue, transitions into the physical rehabilitation of local infrastructure, and finishes with direct community education and household defense. This comprehensive approach reflects Mr. Azhar Amin Gill's operational philosophy. Access to clean drinking water during an emergency is a basic human right, and protecting that right requires proactive, engineered defense rather than passive observation. By isolating and dismantling every single challenge in the post-flood timeline, from massive structural failures to microscopic pathogens, the threat of widespread waterborne epidemics is neutralized. In the face of rising floodwaters, Gill Corporation is always there, always acting, and always delivering clean water to those who need it most.